Well, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Cherry Speaks. Right now, I want to talk to you guys about Riverdale. And my question, I posed a question today. Will they get back to basics as soon as the second half of the second season resumes? And I finally got an answer to that question. According to the creator, Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa, yes, it will get back to basics after it comes back from its winter break. Now, last time we left off, we were trying to find out, okay, we thought we knew the identity of the Black Hood because we found out that the janitor was actually the sole survivor of the massacre. And it turns out, he hired a group of people to go kill the guy that killed his family, rightfully so. And so, a lot of people are wondering, okay, with this dark and this dark and gloomy setting so far that's cast over season 2, will it get back to what Riverdale is all about? 4 high schoolers, the main guy being Archie Andrews, the football player, the jock, the lovable sweet guy, that whole thing. You got Betty Cooper, the intuitive investigative journalist, along with Jughead. Of course, I group him in there. The grungy biker kid. Then you have the spoiled rich girl, supposedly, Veronica Lodge. So, will it get back to basics? Yes. According to Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa, he says, listen, after all this dark and gloomy stuff, Riverdale never refuse, even when it deviates from, when its whole theme of the show, it'll always come back. It's like a boomerang effect. That's what I'll say. So, according to him, after, when second half of season 2 resumes, it'll get back to those 4 high schools. Jughead returning to Riverdale High. The intense love triangle between Betty Cooper, Veronica Lodge, and Archie Andrews. I honestly would have liked to have seen possibly Jug with Tony, but that's just my personal opinion. Again, that intense love triangle between Betty, Archie, and Veronica Lodge. Now, as we all left off, each character went off in their own separate ways, and I liked how they did that. Veronica getting more and more curious about how her family business runs. She wants to run it someday. That's her. Betty dealing with her own psychological torture of the Black Hood and wanting to figure everything out. And then also from the trailer we saw, Allison wants to see her son. Again, wants another mystery child. First it was Polly that we all knew about, but we never seen her on any screen time. She never got any screen time. So now we get to see the boy. So and I think that'll make for an interesting interaction, don't you think? I think it will. Because we finally get to see his side of the story. We've always, since season 1, we always seem to have gotten only, the parents' side. Like FP told Allison back in season 1. Allison, you're not as this, the way you paint yourself as this golden girl, I forgot whatever words he actually used, that's not necessarily true. He told Betty right in front of her face, you used to be a bad girl yourself, even, and she had to interrupt FE, she just stormed out. And now we get to see more and more of what FE was talking about. For example, we learned that Allison, yes, used to be a freaking serpent. A serpent. The very gang that she was talking mess about the entire time. The reason why she didn't want Betty with Jughead. Because he was a serpent. Hypocrite much? I think so. So, to see Allison, become more vulnerable, more open up, and we learn more about her skeletons in her closet, it really makes me wonder what skeletons is Alan hiding? Is Al hiding? You know what I mean? Like we got the mother's side. We finally got the mother's skeletons out of the closet. Now let's see the father. I think that's the direction they might be going in. Who knows? But as Mr. Sakasa said, it never seems to deviate from what it's all about. You know what I mean? So we finally get to see 4 friends' bonds, grow even closer after this dark time in Riverdale. This killer's on the loose. So after that's all wrapped up and done, we finally get them to focus more and more on the high schoolers, see how strong and how further their bonds can go, their strength and love for each other. Of course, we all love a great romantic story. Of course, there are times where a man loves more than one woman. In this case, Archie only has 2 main women in his life. Betty Cooper, who was his first love, in my opinion. And then you have Veronica Lodge, his current love. And I have to say, man, if I had to choose between Betty or Veronica, man, oh man, would that be a hard decision. Again, first matter of fact, let me post you guys the stats of each character. Bam, I'll start with Betty. 1, she's a very, very intelligent woman. She knows what she's going after. Very intuitive. When she smells something really funny, she goes right after it. She's like a shark. You know, she's very investigative. You know, she's very analytical. She reads between the lines very well. She knows how to get her. She knows how to get down to the bottom of things. B. Veronica Lodge. At first, you know, she came off as this stuck-up, spoiled little girl, rich girl. Turns out she matured actually throughout the first season and even more throughout this season right now. You know, she's currently got my boy Archie in the clamps right now. She's more and more tenacious. She wants to know more about her family business. You know, very kind-hearted, very loving individual, comes to find out. So it makes for an interesting tie and an interesting love triangle. So it's nice to see just how much they love each other. Jughead Jones on the other hand. I keep forgetting the kid's full name, actually. But Jughead Jones, the kid on the other side of the tracks. Pretty much the Sean Hunter of Riverdale. Only difference is, you know, we never knew Sean Hunter as a very investigative journalist or narrator to a show. So, you know, it's really cool to see how each character interacts with each other. You know, it's really nice to see how strong and more mature they become. So, when season 3 hits, I'm really, really curious to see how everything goes. I'm glad Fred's still alive. I'm glad a lot of things are being uncovered. You know, we saw FP take the fall for Jughead in the sense that, you know, he can't let his son ruin his life being a serpent, you know, taking his father's place. So he said, you know what, forget it. I'm back in. You know, because remember, there was supposed to be a retirement party for FP, but FP said, you know what, forget it. He's flipped on us, and he said, you know what, I'm back in. I'm a serpent till I die, pretty much. So he took that little rap for his son, so then that way his son wouldn't, you know, mess up his life, which is a very honorable and admirable thing to do as a father or parent, you know. Even though at the expense of disappointing his own father, his old man. So it's clear. I'm really curious to see what happens when the second half resumes. Again, you know, Allison wants to see her son, her long-lost son. You know, Betty wants to get down to the bottom of the killer and stop this guy once for all. Archie is trying to figure out he's gonna keep loving Veronica and doing his thing, and possibly even trying to figure out, you know, just what to do. You know, now that him and Veronica are a little bit on the rocks. So, you know, he's trying to, again, he sees the girl next door, Betty Cooper. Maybe something will happen there. Who knows? Like I said, it's a love triangle, a very intense love triangle. I'm very, very excited to see. And we'll see how things go with Jughead as well. This is your boy, Sherry Speaks. I love you guys. God bless. You know, you guys know the drill. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys subscribe to it. You know, give me your thoughts. Like, what do you guys think is going to happen when the second half of the second season comes back on air? And I think January 17th. Like, let me know in the comments section below. Let me know what you guys think.